Sup? I'm back. Oh my god. Sorry, I'm still recovering for the roller coaster of emotions after finishing the world building. God damn it. God damn. God damn. Ah, by the way, hello Frank. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Just as an opinion. Can I ask an opinion? Yeah. Uh, 147 pages of pure text is enough? I don't know because I never wrote anything in my life, so I don't know if it's too little or too much. I don't know. Like 147 pages, 147. Is it enough? No, no. The world building. The total pages of the world building are 147. Like I have 147 pages of a world building. Is it good? I don't know. Okay. I think it's okay. Let's just say it is. Let's just say it is. So, what are you gonna do now? It's pretty complicated. I think. I mean, it's gonna be like a study session to understand game design. Until chapter 5, I've already like done some notes, so we're gonna go through them right now. The only teeny tiny problem is that they are in Italian, and of course, because the two of us now are Italian, we will understand them, but the problem will be for those who will see this video will not really understand them. So I think during the review of the notes, I'm gonna translate everything in English, or at least do my best to translate them in English. Sorry, I'm still dying. I think I have what 5 months to live, then kaput. Holy shit. Yeah, but as you said, my friend, Mama made no pussy. Mama made no pussy, so let's get the work done. Okay, so where are we? Okay, I'm gonna change the screencast, and finally, we can remove the fucking filter. Bye bye. Boom. Tada. I think you already saw these notes, so because I sent them to the group chat, so I think you already saw them. But still, I'm gonna do a quick review because I don't remember them. Okay. Okay, where do I start? So, first of all, the game design study session that we are gonna do now is not sponsored, but it's done thanks to Scott Rogers' book Level Up, third edition. So, thanks to him for making the book. And we're gonna go through some of its work. Well, we're gonna go through my notes that are kinda assimilated by his book until chapter 5. So we'll see. Of course, I will suggest you to buy the actual book because it has a lot of more info, like really a lot of information that I didn't really write everything. I wrote only what I find more important. Maybe you find something else important. And also inside the book there are a bunch of images that are done by him that are better. I don't know. But the first chapter from what I noted here, just a second, I'm gonna also open the book to see if everything is up, up, up. So gonna give a quick read to the index to find what makes it start, how to start it, how to publish, okay, yeah. Chapter one or level one, as he writes, is a kind of small chapter, like 25 pages, and it's all like condensed to this. The first thing that I really made, one thing that I understood was that if you're gonna make like a game document, like a GDD, a game document design, well, yeah, game design document, a GDD, okay. Probably none of your teammates, coworker will read it if it's just a block of text. Like if it's a huge block of text without formatting, without spacing, without rhythm, I don't know how to say, nobody will probably read it. That's why one thing that I also do in my notes and also what he suggests is to make some sketches or a way to, how do I say, make your coworkers understand the vision. It's pretty important in a group of game developers or a studio to understand each other during the production. Okay, another thing that it's really important is again, sorry sorry if it's in Italian. So the base for a game is of course the gameplay, rules and conditions of a victory and lose. This is what kinda compose a game. Like the basis of a game, it's the gameplay, the rules, and the condition of victory and lose. That's why more like in some like further down the notes you will see that he suggested to like start with the gameplay and making the game with prototype first and not like world building like I've done. It's really what you should not do usually. But hey, here I am. Of course, the most important skill that you can have during the game design phase is communication between your coworkers. Or, so you can, because it's pretty important, even if art and programming are two different fields, it's important that they communicate with each other. And usually, a way to communicate with each other is by using the game design document that is provided by the designer, game designer. And last thing, the objective of the game should be pretty clear. Sometimes it should be like said in the first few moments of the game, like, okay, you should kill this guy, Mr. Gremlin. I love Mr. Gremlin, he's such a cutie patatouille. But yeah, like kill Mr. Gremlin or like anything, like, but it must be clear. It should not be like confusing because players should like have an anchor to for their journey, knowing what they are doing. Because if they don't know why they are going to kill some goblins, or it must have an objective. Okay, this is the meat of the argument, and also this is what the production of a game should look like. Uh, one for all for one. I don't know if this is the English version of this saying. There are those who are more focused on making a game, the most important. I mean, of course, we have the programmer, the one, of course, who makes the code, the artist. Now, of course, there are like, if you are in a AAA studio, you're gonna find subclasses of each one of them. Like for artists, you can find concept artist, the lead that is the technical artist, the character design, blah blah blah. The 3D also artist, so on and so forth. Programmer, the optimizer, the one who are. It's pretty vast, okay? It's very vast. The designer, like we are studying right now, design book. The producer, I think the producer is kinda okay. Wait a second. I'm curious about the producer because I kinda forgot. So we're gonna give it a quick look. Sorry. Where are you? Where are you? Where? Pretty please, pretty please, pretty please, pretty please. Programmer, producer. Oversee, allora, producer. Overseeing the entire game developer is the producer. Original producer were members of the developing team who also managed the work of the team members. They had the authority to make all of the final decisions, including creative ones. A producer role on a game has expanded dramatically over the years. In some cases, require several producer roles on one game. In the case of executive producer, is required to oversee the overseers. Okay, so I'm not sure that the. Oh, okay, no, it's not. A producer responsibilities include hiring and building the development team, writing contracts, contributing to the game design, managing the team work schedule, maintaining good work-life balance, balancing the game budget, resolving disputes. Okay. Okay. It's kind of. It's not. It's like kind of like the game director, but a lot. What do I say? More bureaucratic. Okay. The tester and QA, probably the most important ones, and it would be really nice to have them because they are the ones that can help finding bugs, assuring that the game is ready to publish, and so on. Composer, of course, is about music. Sound design is about making the game feel real. Okay, real is not the right word. It's like um, making you immerse in the game. The immersion. They help with immersion. Yeah, something. Okay, you can test. Yeah, no, I think I don't know if the producer should be like more on the publisher side, but I think we are if we this section on top is like the studio itself, so I think it's normal to have the producer. The narrative designer writer, basically what I've done in the previous thing in the world building section, that I think it's what is about. But be aware of narrative because narrative doesn't really mean just story. The narration in a game can change. It's about what the player does. That is the narration. So it can change a lot. Opa. Yeah, of course, of course. I think that a tester that knows, I think, okay, sometimes when people think about tester, they think about people that just play the game. I think they are kind of a branch of programmers. I think they should be like a branch of programmers because if a tester doesn't know how to help and just point out a bug without giving proper description of the bug, it kind of be problematic. But now let's go on the this should be like the publisher. Wait a second. Are we sure? Yeah, this should be like publishing. The pro okay. The production manager, I think, much like a game producer, production manager work with the developer team and manage them based upon a agreed production schedule. They help determine production priorities. Okay, another bureaucratic stuff. Creative manager. All right. When people ask me what I did as a creative manager, I tell them I had the job that people think when they think of someone working in video games. Working as a creative manager wasn't just thinking up the game and playing games all day, but sometimes it is. Creative managers are usually game designers who, after being worn down by the long hours on game development, think, okay, okay, let's move on. Yeah, exactly. Even in engineering. Okay, but the art director, it's similar to the creative manager, but this is only with the game art. Ah, so you think the creative manager is just game director? Should it be? Who is the game director in all of these things? I think it should be like the creative manager. I don't know. It seems like it though. The technical director, I think this one is about how to manage all the programming background. Yes. And the marketing team is the marketing team. Also, I forgot about community manager on top, but I think it's pretty self-explanatory. I think building a community is pretty important. Like what I'm trying to do right now, building a community with for with real people. That's what I hope. So yeah, this was the first chapter of the book. Now let's move on something else. Ideas. Ideas are pretty important, and trust me, the first idea usually suck. It usually, basically, my community is built by my friends that really support what I do. So thank you guys. It's still important. It's still appreciated, like a lot. I think I have like I don't know, 10, 10 of you guys are actively supporting me every day. Even those who are not on Twitch channel, like really like to see, really wish for me to be happy with my project. So I don't know, but yeah, pretty nice. So, how to find ideas? Sometimes to find ideas for a game, you usually like take inspiration from other passions. Like it can be everything. Like if you're passionate about gardening, it can be an inspiration for a game. If you're inspired by, I don't know, the library, you like to go to the library, you can make a game about that. There are a lot of places where you can find inspiration. Like, and it should not only be like in the game field. Like it's okay to take inspiration from software games like Dark Souls, but sometimes it's better to find inspiration on other fields, not only games. Like, okay, I use as an example Magic the Gathering, drawing, painting, miniature, and so on and so forth. Like you, by finding skills and inspiration from other stuff, you kind of have a good set of knowledge to try out and you use some ideas. Opa, we meet again. Yeah, usually simulators are like something that goes pretty well on Steam, I think. Yeah, it's supposed to be. Exactly, that simulator pragmata. Okay, yeah. I don't know if if that is supposed to be a simulator, but yeah. One of course, the biggest technique that you can find literally anywhere is like drawing on a paper or on a whiteboard ideas, like e every kind of idea possible you draw without brainstorming. It's brainstorming basically. Uh, Even those that are kind of strange. Like here I said like the ideas like the strange ones or maybe ideas that comes from other medias. And another thing that it suggests is like trying out new things. And of course, that can mean a lot of things like try to learn music, try to, I don't know, drawing if you never went try to draw, writing if you never wrote in your life. So there are a lot of ways. I think I know that sounds general, like a lot of it's a lot of generalist, but I think if you have some at least degree of generalist in your blood, okay, this sentence is kind of strange, but yeah, you can find solution on your field from other fields. I think that is kind of the summary of what the book is trying to say in these first three, maybe even in the others. So I guess. Uh, Like for talking ideas, you should hang. Yeah, a lot of time you can hang out with your friends. Like for example, you bro, Sassolino kinda helped me with changing a few stuff for the game. Like the color scheme of something that I cannot say was wrong, and by changing it, now it's perfect for me. Like it makes a lot of sense. It connects pretty well with a lot of concepts. So please talk with people. This is a good. I think this is a good advice. Go out, touch grass, talk to people. So yeah, it's kind of a good advice. Sometimes, of course, when the ideas kind of don't arrive, like you may be struggling with, I don't know, the merchant system. You don't know how to price some object, some power-ups. So if you're really struggling, there is nothing good on burning out. So sometimes it's okay to just push the push the computer away, go for a walk, go smoke something. No, 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 no smoking, no smoking. We. But yeah, I think you understand. It's the on top here are also advice from other things, not only for a game developer, of course. Like I think every field has a burnout moment where you kind of have to go away from the screen, or I don't know, for what you're doing. So it's pretty general advice here. This kind of is funny. Like play a game if it's possible. Play a bad game. I think he said that because it kinda is useful to understand when if you want to be a game designer, playing a game, a good one or a bad one. I think even good ones you can play is to be pretty aware of how the game works, of the subtle mechanics that there are in the game. He advises for the bad ones because it's more visible to see what's wrong with the bad ones. And if you see what's feasible, you maybe even find some idea to improve that system and make it work. That's kind of the idea, I think, for this section. Idea for D&D. Each player has to have a basic knowledge of the character field of work. I mean, I have a great idea for D&D. Each player has to like if someone like wants a cleric character, he must know about theology. Yeah, but okay, let's move on. And the last one, play a game. Like play another type of game. That can be like a card game, like Magic the Gathering, or maybe I don't know, tabletop games. And trust me, there are a lot of types of tabletop games. Like probably 90% of RPGs, like role-playing games, are inspired from D&D. We already know that. Even the Japanese one, the JRPGs, are inspired by D&D. So not great, not something new, but it's always good to understand that basically what the first section of this chapter says is try stuff out, go outside and talk to people, like live life. Most probably by living life you will find inspiration for your projects. It's basically what this first section says. And I mean, it's true. If you go outside, you make different experience. Of course, you will have a bigger baggage of ideas because you've seen people, you've seen things. Maybe if you travel, it's another good way. So you know, I know that probably the most common vision of game developer are stuck at home guys. But technically, that is kind of the worst thing that you can do. Like if you stuck yourself, if you don't go outside, you stay at home only making your game, like probably I was doing, I don't know. It's kind of deteriorating a lot of stuff, so it's better to go outside and take a break sometime or do something else. If you like over focus on the game like I used to do, like we are talking the Twitter era, so huge production and blah blah. I already told you about that in the journey retrospective. But yeah, that's the idea. Don't overburden yourself with something. At least, of course, if it's not so important, like you have a deadline. But if you don't, just relax sometimes. Go a bit away of your projects, and I don't know, drink something, drink a coffee. Uh, I mean, it's kind of general advice. I think everyone knows a bit of what I'm talking about. So, but I think it's still important. Fuck around and find out. There is a response of a game dev to a criticism. Basically, someone complained that there wasn't romance in the game, and they responded by saying that nobody in the team had experience with it. I mean, same. I don't think in Ultra Nihil there will be like some relevant romance. So, so makes sense though. Makes sense. I mean, I don't know. It's just funny. I think I'm gonna have the same criticism. I don't know. This is why I'm not gonna make a romance game. I don't know. Or maybe I will just make it out of fun to try it out. Okay. Nolan in Interstellar had a real scientist next them up for how to. Well, that's why it's pretty useful. Even if you are in the film industry, having like some knowledge of other fields, or at least having someone of your teammates and have knowledge on other fields, it's pretty useful. It can really level up your project sometimes. This is why it's good to have a pretty hetero no how do I say yes heterogeneous team, like a team from different fields with different knowledge that can give you some new perspective from their field that can you probably apply to yours. It's pretty common even in science that people from different fields help each other. Like someone from biology is helped by someone a mathematician. So this is the first one is kind of an advice that I agree and I don't. I think it's because the guy from the book, like Scott, is from the AAA industry. So of course, a lot of his vision is like AAA. The first thing to keep in mind when you make a game is that it has not to be nice only for the designer, but also for the public. So it must have some market value. We are talking about the entertainment industry. Yes and no. I mean, one thing that I like to do it's problematic because I'm not an expert and I don't really want to argue with an expert. But I'm feeling that this way of thinking is kind of dying, and we are seeing it with the AAA industry that it's kind of dying. Like seeing a game only as a way of revenue. But it does make sense for AAA because they have like 1,000 people to feed. So of course they are thinking about the games as revenue. But it's kinda deteriorating the overall game industry. So we are here because some of this mentality, I think. It makes sense, but I think there is a problem like in the infrastructure of the gaming industry. Like I think most of the things were ruined by greed, so microtransaction, live service. I think there is a. It's kind of debatable. The first one is kind of debatable. So the second one is something that I totally agree. It's not like you don't have to make something original or never seen before. Sometimes it's okay to just innovate from a already existing game. So it's kind of what I want to try to do with maybe Fear and Hunger to try to make my own version. It's not really just innovating, just make it mine. A lot of inspiration come from there, but I don't want to really make another Fear and Hunger clone. I want to make something that is mine. So I don't know if innovating is the right word, to be honest. There are too many games out now to make something actually just. I mean, it wasn't a problem before AI. It all comes to that because a lot of games, like the number of games on Steam right now is skyrocketing because AI is slow. So if it was hard before, now it's even harder. Now it's even harder. So I mean, it's not really that it's impossible to make something original. I think it's pretty possible to make something original, kinda. But to make your original thing stand out, you have to like actually fight because there are other projects. So it's difficult. It's difficult. Also, coming out with an original idea, it's also extremely difficult. Like creating a new, totally new genre. It's really, really hard. So it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory, to be honest, to create something like that. It's not mandatory to be always original. Like, oh, my game system was never seen before. It's kind of impossible. Like, you will have to spend years thinking about that game system and how different it can be. So it depends. It depends. This is why probably he say iterate from the a previous game, like innovate from a previous game. I don't know if innovate is the right word. I mean, you can innovate Tetris because Tetris is kind of old now, but I would not probably innovate from Elden Ring. So I think you can understand. It's just not innovating. Is the just how they say it? Make the project yours. I think it's the right word. So uh, another thing that is pretty relevant, and I'm pretty happy that he put it on the book. It's players don't want just nice games. They know they will feel if the game was not made with passion. I think it's true. Like you can totally feel when a see when a game was made and not with passion. I don't know. You need just to think about COD games right now and FIFA. They are not made with passion, they are just cash grab. On the other hand, I know it's controversial, but I think a gacha game were made with passion. Probably the art team behind is tired. It's really, it's like Mappa Studio level of tiredness. But I think there is some degree of passion when you make a gacha game. Like if it also has good world building and good characters. Like the world of Limbus Company or Ark Knights, you can see that there is passion there. So it's also a good factor, I think. It's also a good factor. I I I think nobody of us will ever know what perfect game means for Miyazaki, and I think it's okay. I mean, he could also say it just for hype. Come on, guys, let's don't put out this possibility. He may also say it just for hype, but it's pretty funny to see what should the perfect Miyazaki game would be. Like now you imagine some Cookie Mama type of game. Oh well. Uh, yeah. If Miyazaki cook a dish for us, we're gonna eat it. No question asked. We're gonna eat whatever the man cooks. We are a traditional household here, so we're gonna eat whatever is in the table. Okay, no, sorry, let's continue. Another thing that I added to the second part of this section was that remember for who you are making the game. You must have in mind a specific niche in your head. you cannot make a game that is for everyone, because a game for everyone is a game for no one. I think it's a pretty classic advice. Like you cannot make a game with every kind of theme that you want. Like yeah, and we're gonna talk about wars, and we're gonna talk about climate change, and we go yes and no. You can do that, but you also have to know your kind of what kind of public you are like not attacking, how I say it, like targeting. Yeah, you kind of target of your audience. Some if you have to remember if you are like targeting gamers that love puzzle games, gamers that love RPGs, so role-playing games, you should kind of avoid like trying to get everyone in the game. Like, okay, in my game I want to have gamers that are from the football spaces, then from dark fantasy space. It's kind of not gonna work if you just want everyone to like your game. You have to focus on your niche. So I know that this sounds, how do I say, pretty tempting to expand your community like on a large level scale, but you probably should not do that. As I said, a game for everyone is a game for no one, and it will not have nothing memorable for anyone. So, another thing that wrote here is that in the brainstorming phase, no idea is a stupid idea. And yeah, that's the idea of brainstorming. So, I know that some stuff that you will write down sounds silly, but why not? Sometimes silliness is good, sometimes something strange will make your game unique. So don't be scared to go out of the grid with stuff like making a game about building pencils. I don't know, it sounds strange, but it's, it's something new to be honest, so why not? Writing everything on the board will probably help. I mean, it always helps to just draw out ideas when you have none. At least you are able to see something or like a path to move forward. Like if you put an idea that kind of sounded the best between the others, why not try it out? See where it leads you. So that's kind of the idea. Uh, yeah, another funny thing, as we said before, like if you can take more people possible, better it is better if they are from different fields. You can ask them like what they would like or for solution or ideas. Like ask a biologist if they can make a game, what kind of game they would make. This is just an example, but yeah, we already talked about this. So yeah, exactly. Sometimes are the unhinged idea that works the best. Yeah. There is no guarantee that your game will be fun. Fun is like different for a lot of people. The same fun that someone that plays puzzle game, they will not find the same fun in RPGs maybe. So fun is something really personal to people. Uh, and there is no guarantee that your game will be fun until the gamers play it. So, in general, like making games or anything that is entertainment related is kind of a gamble. Like you will never know that if people will like it until you will publish it. Like a film, a game, a book, so on and so forth. You will never know. It's really the entertainment industry is a gamble. This is why when a formula works, AAA studios tend to kind of stick to that formula forever. And but that can cause like stagnation and nothing to really innovate. This is why one thing that I will probably do is like make a game and move on. Even though I spend like years on the world building and so on, I will probably move on and make something else. Ah, yeah, sometimes games are not for made for fun, like competitive one. Yeah, League of Legends. League of Legends. I never had fun with that game. Or competitive in general is not really my thing, competitive games. If I have to choose like a multiplayer game, I will probably choose a cooperative game, like playing together. It's funnier. Or maybe some couch game, like party couch game, like Mario Party. That are kind of my type of game. I don't really like playing with people online for in a competitive space. It's not really for me. Oh my God, this is for me. This is what this is the story. Yeah. Are you sure about that? Are you sure that you're not blaming anyone? Well, no, jokes aside, competitive game can be fun. I mean, if they were not fun, like if winning wasn't fun, I think nobody would probably play them. So there is a fun aspect to them too. So yeah, let's just be real for a second. I think there is a fun side to competitive too. So the third chapter that I wrote was basically how to write a story. You already probably know about the hero journey. First, the hero has a desire. Then something happens and destroys the life of the hero or disorganizes it and interferes with his desire. This this event will probably cause some problems to the hero that he must resolve. Then the hero will overcome that problem, but his met no will try to overcome the problem, but his methods fail. But it seems like the fortune is on his side, but more problems just come after. I mean, this is kind of the usual hero joy. I think people will like already saw this. Like another problem makes the hero stumble, I know. And finally, the last huge problem arrives. The hero must surpass the last problem, and he obtained his desire. And then the sequel arrived, or something. Yeah, I think. Well, depends how the is your group, how serious your group is. I mean, if your group just want to have fun, making them like character developing and all of this is kind of hard. Like nobody will pay too much attention. But if you like playing D&D for like serious D&D, this will be like a nice touch. It will be like yeah, it will be like a nice touch. More so if you know about the player's PG problems. So yeah. But of course there are like other types of story cycles. Like every story must have, of course, a beginning, intermediate phase, and an ending. So usually these 3 points are like the three act stuff, the story, the three act story. In fact, the three act story is right here. Like the most common structure are like the hero journey, the three act structure, and the story cycle. Another that are not really so known is like the Kisho Tenketsu that has introduction, development, twist, and reconciliation. This is what I wish I can do. I wish I can do something like this in the Ultra Nihil. And of course, there are also the stories for the kids, like fables that use like repetition break. Like there was a story, but then, oh no, but then this is kind of another type of storytelling. Opa. Ah, yeah, of course. The trauma is the juice of stories. And now we arrive at narrative design. Narrative design is different, like it's different than just telling a story in a normal way. A narrative is an order of events. When you play a game, you create one. So you have to understand that a narrative in a book is different from a narrative in a game. A narrative in a book is like something that was already written, and you go through that like step, 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 step. The same thing is different for games because you as a player create a narrative. You as a player, even though there is already a story, you kind of create your own version of that story. Like someone might be go that way, but not you. You're gonna go that way. Someone will find that secret, but not you, unfortunately. So there is a creation of narrative. This is what is narrative in games. And when you create a narrative, you have to view it from the player perspective. You have to imagine, okay, what the player should would probably do in this part. If the and sometimes you have to be careful to not make the player too much lost in the game, not understanding where the narrative is going. Like it can be personal the narrative for the player, but sometimes there must be some kind of slightly visible path to them to go or alters to choose so they can make their own choices. Like if another example of narrative, some player will just go through the story like a train. Others player will probably grind so much that the character will be like overpowered. So they will also go like a train, but they will have their own experience with the game. It's kind of that idea. So as I was saying, the story is pretty different from the narrative in games. The story is like, how do I say? The story is like what's written, what's fixed about the game. Like you cannot change the what happened before the game. You will probably encounter some key story points where you cannot maybe have a decision. You will just watch the cutscene go to at least have a connection with the story itself. So that's kind of the idea. Baldur's Gate is a great example. When the dialogue you have with the NPC can change. Well, that is like another old level of narrative hands-on for Baldur's Gate. Of course, the game of the year was deserved. Like the level of narrative for Baldur's Gate is kind of incredible. It kind of overshadows the story probably because you are literally make your own story. Like, of course, you're gonna arrive at the end in Baldur's Gate. Like, the story requires you to arrive in Baldur's Gate, but the way you arrive it is so hilarious. Like, you can do whatever you want, and everything is building up. So yeah, that is like the role play game for me, like the real role play game, because you can have your own narrative in that. So that's the idea. Moving on the square here. Uh, this is what I've done. I'm sorry. Put the gameplay first. It's more easy to change the story and the world building than the gameplay. Yeah. As you can see, has a, I don't know if it has a drawing for that, but it's kind of like its classification is like this: first gameplay, then the story, and last the world building. I don't think I respected that. I think I've done something really else, but that's because probably he is thinking by a AAA perspective. Like the AAA industry tries to probably maximize the fun. So if you want to maximize the fun, you have to first think about the gameplay. That's kind of the idea to make at least sure that you're gonna have some revenue. Ah, and yeah, I think that should also have been what I should have done, but I really love world building, so I really got stuck in that. But I think there are advantages, okay? I know it seems like stupid in a game design perspective to start first with world building, but because now I have a whole world, I literally have infinite possibility for infinite type of gameplays and story to be told. It's like the cyberpunk setting. Having like the cyberpunk setting, it's like the usual saying from Cyberpunk is Night City is the city of stories, and it makes sense. You can literally make any game about Cyberpunk now because the aesthetic is there. The world building is mostly about aesthetic, kinda. Like, how do I explain it? It's kinda complicated, but I think you can understand by just saying Cyberpunk. You have the Cyberpunk, you can tell infinite story, and you can make infinite games about it. Any kind of game. It can be a strategical game, it can be a roleplay game, everything. That's kind of the vision that I have. Sorry, I'm gonna read the message now. Huh? I think the changes between game genre like story games will put the story and the world. Yeah, as I would say. I think a visual novel says that reminds me of play stay. Oh, them. Yeah, visual novel are probably of story first games, of course. And visual novels kind of have a, how do I say, a focus on decision. So basically, a decision that you make in a page will affect another part of the story. It's nice. I think it's a nice thing. Well, I don't know if everyone will consider visual novel games, even though they are, kinda. It depends. Probably they will if they don't have any gameplay, they will probably be considered interactive stories. Just that there are some games that kind of have some gameplay aspect. Yeah. The best example that comes in my mind is what was the name? God damn it, uh, Sucker for Love. If you know, you know. It has its gameplay yeah, it's uh, uh, well, not really. The term game is as I was saying, it must have a let's go top. For a game to be a game, it must have these three things: a gameplay, so like a loop that you are doing, I don't know, take this object on the counter and sell it, and you gotta do that over and over. Some rules, like okay, you can put the object on the counter, but without your hands, so it adds some challenge. And the victory and the lose situation is about what happen if you draw you how do I say, draw away the object or you put it in the counter. If you draw it away, you lose. If you put it in the counter, you win. So this should be like the base of what a game should be. So it depends. For visual novel, as I was saying, yeah, but that is the reason why I will talk about them. If they are just visual novel, just that, I think they are more like interactive stories than games because it's missing the gameplay factor. The gameplay factor is something like a challenge to overcome. That's what make a game a game. Yeah, basically that. Th- I was kind of focusing on Stein Gate. I don't know if Stein Gate is just a visual novel. Maybe uh, Fate Stay Night. It's another just visual novel. Like you make decision and stuff. I don't know about. No, no, okay. Doki Doki Literary Club. I think it has a gameplay making poems, so that counts as gameplay. That's why it's a game. I don't know. I don't wanna get flamed because I insulted someone by saying that the visual novel are just interactive stories. Well, I don't know, but what is the gameplay of Stein Gate? It's just to make choices, right? Or there is some gameplay aspect to it. Yeah, but it's not really gameplay. Like, it's not really so gameplay-ish, choosing just the dialogue. There is no challenge to overcome, so it's not something that I will consider like gameplay, just choosing dialogue. There is no challenge to overcome in that. You just see how the story rolls out. That's the point. The same reason why I don't think, well, books are not really games. So, can you understand? Even the books who helps you make a choice, like if you choose that page, go to this page, and so on. So Ishi, it's kind of Ishi. Yeah, yeah, okay, you're right, you're right. Let's move on. Let's move on, you're right. It's debatable, it's debatable. I mean, it's kind of funny because technically my game will have a visual novel aspect to it. Like making choices and see like the dialogue of the characters, it will have like some aspect to it. So, triangles. We like triangles. So, these one are nice. These one are really, really nice. Um, the triangle down here are like the one proposed in the book that I'm gonna read, or well, the book in general, the level up book. Uh, this one is the productivity that it's kind of general to everything. It's not really just about games. The productivity triangle, you can just choose two of them. Like if you choose time and money, like making something fast that cash out really fast, you will probably lose a lot of quality. If you instead choose to just quality and time, that what is basically I'm trying to do, quality and time, you will probably not. It's not that I'm not gonna have a good revenue, but it's pretty. Uh, what do I say? Who is the word? Uh, Costly. No, no, it's not costly. Oh my God, expensive. Well, not monetarily, kinda, yeah. It's also expanding monetarily for me technically, but I think you understand. Uh, I don't know, or maybe I reading it wrong, kinda. Uh, then there is the money and the quality, and of course to that to what am I talking about? Just to say, I don't know if this works with games. Now that I think about, because if you have money and you can produce quality, I think the time should be, I don't know. Or maybe I'm reading it wrong. Just a second. Maybe if you want to make something of quality that you can see that it was expensive, I think it will take time and I don't know. No, well, I think I'm reading it. If you want to make that is quality and gives you a lot of money, you have to spend time on it. I think this is what is about. I think if you want something of quality in the shortest time possible, you have to spend some money. And if you want to gain money and make something faster, you have to lose some quality. I think this was the real narrative in this triangle. Oof, it was hard. I mean, it it's basically what works right now. It is what it is. I'm not gonna say anything more. I'm kinda tired. I'm just gonna make my game. I don't wanna really debate on that. If you, I'm not gonna like debate with the market because there is a market. So then there is like the more maybe focused on my field. The second one here is like the strange, the strange triangle. Like, what is strange about the game that you're making? The you have only to choose one because if you make everything strange, the player cannot attach to anything. Like, if you make the activity, the character, the world strange, it's impossible for anyone to understand the game. It's kind of difficult to find someone that will like it. This is why he proposed that at least one thing must be strange about the world, like the world itself, like I don't know, My Little Pony. I don't know, like I don't know, people live on just water, like on islands, or I don't know. or maybe just have a strange character in a real world, like cube persons in a real world, or activities. Maybe the world is so really normal, but your activity is like I don't know. Let's, let's think of a wacky activity. Like in your game, you're like a clown hunter. Like every character feels so real, the world feels so real, but your activity is clown hunting. I'm not sure. This is just the triangle that putting something original in a already existing concept. Yeah, I think this is what also we talked about before. I hope I'm interpreting the triangle right because this is what also he put in his book. These were notes that I made during the book reading, so I'm not reading right now. I'm just interpreting the notes that I made to see if they work. I really hope that I'm remembering right because if I don't, I'm cooked. Like yeah, and now we have the thing that I've done. Uh, how do I say? So, hear me out, okay? Hear me out on this one and tell me if it makes sense. What usually what you he proposed is like to have only this kind of triangle. First, we have the gameplay. Second, we have the story. Third, we have the lore. He proposed this kind of triangle, and I'm no one to judge. He's an expert, of course. So, I mean, he works on a field for more the time than me. So, for more time than me. So, but for the way I want to do it, it still includes this one. The only thing is that I really like to think more about the themes and what kind of game can be born from the genre that I'm working it or from the world building. Like, in fact, first I like to think about the lore, then about what kind of story can be born from that world building, and lastly, what kind of game can be born from that. And I'm gonna say but pretty big, like a big but. When it's time to make the production of the game, of the actual game, you should keep in mind this one, but invert it because at the end of the day, it's a game. So you have to pay a lot of attention on the gameplay, then on the story, and then finally on the lore. Let's say, yeah. Uh, isn't the same triangle, the proportion are just the same? I mean, okay, maybe maybe I'm a little dummy dumb. uh, how do I solve this one? Let's see if I can solve it like this. Kinda. Okay, let's rotate this one. Hoppala! Oh damn, kinda. Now, does it make sense? The only thing you can say is yes. If not, I'm gonna be mad. Alright, like this. Like, what if I have to think about a game, I really like to see the triangle in this way. Like lore, story, and gameplay last, because I like to make my game be born from an existing world and story. But technically, as he said, it's better to think about the gameplay first to maximize the fun and then the rest. But I think there are different styles to this. It depends. It depends, depends. I, now that I'm looking at this, I think it's about the about the game director decision. I think it's about how he do how he does things. So, ta-ra-ra-ta-ta-ta. What? No, no, no. Okay. Papa. Well, it's like for those games that are made like in RPG Maker, that some of them of course are banger. Like I think they have this one on top as a vision, like this vision on top, and instead of the vision on the bottom. I think the bottom are like for those who want fun games, not games with story focused stuff. Okay, maybe it's for interpretation. Let's leave it like that. I'm just gonna say that I prefer the first method because I am who I am, so I prefer the first method. The second method, I think it's for more technical people or for those who like love games because they are games. Like they want to have fun playing game. They don't want to have an interactive experience. I'm more probably inclined to the interactive experience of it, so story and lore. If you are more inclined to the gameplay and fun aspect of it, you are probably on the second triangle. Those did make more sense, probably. I don't know. A story that can be well received. Uh, okay, I think that he just suggests that I think it's a pretty huge problem with uh, RPGs game, like a story focused game, is that you should not like make the player go through all the story. Like some players will want just to finish the game, experience the game really fast. They don't really want to hear about blah blah blah. The king is blah blah blah. That it's normal. So sometimes you have to just give the option to skip the dialogue, make it faster. Also for the animation, make them faster. So this is a thing. I'm gonna delete this because Opa. Okay, better. First, everything was kinda in black and in reverse color, so I was doing shadows, but now that I reversed the color, it didn't look like a shadow. Ah, yeah, something that the player will probably be able to already know, it's how your story will end. This is why instead of changing the ending of the story, you will probably choose to make the how you arrived to that conclusion. Yeah, how do you arrive to that conclusion? Like if your story, like you already know that your character will win the story, try to make a way to feel like okay, how they gonna win this one? That's kind of the idea. This one never use the amnesia cliche. Never, never. It's not always appreciated. This is kind of the full-blown advice that he gives. Never use the amnesia cliche. And guess what? I was thinking of using it. I mean, the amnesia cliche is also pretty useful because uh, the player character doesn't remember a thing, so it is easier for the player to kind of understand with the character what's going on because it's step to step with the character to understanding what's going on. If the character doesn't have an amnesia, he already knows about everything, so it's kind of a step more harder for the player to understand the story because the character, of course, already know each other, so you don't know about the I don't know how to explain it. I mean, I think I explained it right now. Uh, yeah, and exactly. If you're stuck in the second phase about okay, the players will probably know about the ending. Just make multiple endings. I think this is kind of inclined more on the mm, books side of the story. Like a lot of books probably have only one ending, and only that they cannot use the game format of having multiple endings. So this is kind of a problem more for them than for us because we can just say, okay, we have multiple endings and that's it. I mean, maybe it still applies because if you are on a evil route, it's pretty implied that you're gonna do something evil at the end. So at least make they make it interesting how you're gonna finish the evil route. I don't know. Another thing that he suggests is not to make something like suddenly, like an action happening right now, like boom, like a bomb. So he suggests that to maximize the climax, you should like make the player know what's gonna happen. And like there was a scene from a film, like where the dude here is studying or eating, I don't know, and the camera shows that there is a bomb. This interaction like hypes the climax because you don't know if he will survive or yada yada. It, it gives some, what do I say, the climax basically. Because if you just make the bomb explode, you were like, what? What happened? If you make the thing that is gonna happen visible, you're gonna have a moment of climax. This is this is the idea of this part of the chapter. Ah, of course, the gameplay should be. Okay, this is interesting. He suggests that the gameplay should be around the theme of the game. But to have a theme for a game, I mean, yeah, no, okay, maybe not. It's possible. Like if you wanted to make an aquatic theme game, like with aquatic stuff, makes sense. But it's pretty useful to have at least a reason why you may want to make an aquatic game. So this take us on the top about the lore story gameplay because I don't know. Yeah, being a DM is like how do I say? It's basically being a tester because you already see in real life how people interact with your stories, and by seeing how people interact with your stories, you can learn to write stories. Because D&D is such a vast choice game, like you can do whatever you want. You can build the awareness of what your player might do next. This is kind of the way your brain will work after being a DM for a few months or years. I've been a DM for 2 years, I think. Okay, oh god. So yeah, it's pretty useful to play D&D or any role play game, tabletop role playing game, TTRPG. Oh no, now it comes a bit of a, how do we say? Yeah, also you can see how everything fall apart when someone just say, no, I'm not gonna do that. Yeah, after that everything falls apart. Like he says, oh no, I don't wanna beat the bad guy. I just want to start a farm or something, and so it kinda ruins everything. So it, I, I I think playing those kind of games kinda strengthen. Oh god, the pronunciation strengthens the narrative aspect of your brain. Like playing with your friends a multiple story decision game, blah blah, with them like a TTRPG. Strengths the fact that you can predict what the player will probably do. So this section right here. So moving on, the papers. Yeah, we're gonna talk about the papers. Uh, I was trying to make okay, he had a different type of metaphor. I'm gonna have mine. Uh, Developing a game is kind of like making ragu. You have to make it with a lot of love and patience. Patience. I think it's yeah. Uh, I don't know. Non ti convince? I don't know what I meant with the middle part. Like the final phase will not be. Non è quando. Ah, okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. You put a lot of patience and love in your game developing journey, and The final phase is not when it's cooked, but it's with when you add the spices. So basically, what he's saying is that it's finally polished, and if doesn't convince you, you have just to wait a few days to see if you can add something to it. The original sentence to this was for chili. I kinda struggled to understand the chili thing, so I tried to make my own version, but yeah, why not? Let's try it. It's basically when you're cooking something, like say ragu. Of course, let's keep going with ragu. It's not that you just add the ragu and you make it, I don't know, you cook it. If you want something special, you add spices, you add olive oil, you add a lot of things. And if it's still not that good, just wait a few days because it may be marinating in your mind a better idea, and then it will come. I think this is kind of the idea of it. I really hope. Yeah, that's when early access and beta come. You're right. Yeah, but I will just say one thing. I think it's in my case it's just better to make a demo. I cannot make my game in early access because early access means that the player already trusts you and knows you. So only like a Giants game can make something like from Hades. Only them can make something like that because their game studio is already known, and the second game was already known. So I think I will just stuck with making a demo and see what are gonna be the feedbacks from that. Okay. Inside the GDD game design document, all these points must be covered. A good GDD must be on like you have to make known what's going on. You have to be pretty clear with your goal inside it. Like already in the first sentence, you will probably just say what the game is about directly, so you can have a common vision with your coworkers. A good GDD, it's radicated in the goal of the player, so it's also connected with the first thing that, like the very first thing here that the objective must be clear. It's basically that you have to be pretty clear what are your intention. You cannot hesitate. You cannot play it with words like, "Oh yes, we're gonna do this because that." No, no, you have to be pretty clear with what you wanna do, what kind of game you want to make. A good GDD must cultivate curiosity. Like, if it's good, you're gonna find out that some idea will just pop out themselves, and you can try them. If they are good, you can add them. A good GDD has a clear like I'm not gonna say emotion like here. Uh, a good aesthetic, let's say aesthetic. A good GDD will make the your coworkers understand what kind of game we are trying to make. Like you should add elements in the game design document to make understand that it's gonna be a horror game or if it's gonna be a cooking game. You have to add different things like images to the game design document to solidify a bit of the aesthetic for your coworker. It's another thing that will help improve the teamwork. And here we have the different types that I will probably gonna do. By the way, I will probably make every single one of them because I have to. Literally, it's kind of mandatory. Even though I don't have a team, I think it's a good exercise because the end goal for me will be like being a team director. So pretty normal. The one sheet document, obviously, it's just one sheet, one page. It's one page document basically. It must have the title of the game, a brief game system, like you have to explain in a brief way what the game system will be. The SRBR rating, that is basically what's your target audience. You're targeting adults, teens, kids. Usually, the kids will play like the teen games will play like the adult games. So I don't know how much it's working, but yeah, it does work well. A brief summary of the story and the gameplay. I think it's kind of the gameplay is kind of connected to the game system. These two things can be together, kind of. A core game loop. Okay, maybe are a bit separated. Okay, the game loop is basically what we will repeatedly do during the game, like take this to that, take that to this, and so on and so forth. Yeah, adults will probably play Kills game also. I mean, Skylander is still a pretty good game for me. I love Skylander. It was really my childhood. I was not really into Pokemon when I was a kid. Or maybe, I mean, kinda, yeah, I was. Yeah, Pokemon, Minecraft, this kind of game. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, so on and so forth. Uh, Inside the game, the one sheet document, you also have to point out the unicity of your game, like what makes your project apart from 10,000 of others that are around right now. Like what there is special to it. It's basically for a marketing point to get marketing points. This one. Uh, and it's not. You can also add like what games are you inspired by? Like because it's a one sheet document. Usually these kind of documents are just inside the studio. You're not gonna show them to shareholders or the public. These are just inside the studio. You will talk with your coworkers. Please talk with your coworkers. And this is another way to make understand your vision. There are a lot of things that I think this is, even though this is the game design book, I think a lot of stuff here is also useful for game directors. Let's move on. Oh, then we have the real page document. The 10-page document is probably long, 10 pages, but you can go over the top with this one. You can do more than 10 pages. 10 pages is like the minimum or the suggested one. Of course, the first page has the title of the game, the logo, the genre, the target audience, and the rating. So, the it's like the cover of the game. This one, the first page is like how do you imagine the cover, kind of, because we're gonna talk about splash value. I don't know. The second page is like the summary of the game. So so it's basically you have a full page for a summary, like what the game is about, the story and the gameplay. The third page is about the main character, because of course because the player are gonna play the main character. Of course they are gonna understand, make the character at least some level deep. I don't know. The fourth page is about the game loop, so how the game play out for the entirety of it. The fifth page is the visual and the audio style. I mean, the fifth page, I don't know how you can make the audio because it's a document, but okay, I think you can have some example to show on another format, like you bring the document and you also bring the MP4. But I think it makes sense about the visual and the audio style. The seventh page is about the world building basically, and how the story will be told. No, the sixth page. The seventh page is about what is the goal of the game and how it progresses. Like what is the progression. Like in my case, it's, you go first nation, second nation, third nation, fourth nation, and that's done. That's the game, kind of. And the eighth page is about an example, an example of gameplay. Like you bring up an example, maybe for the First Nation, for example. I don't know, in my case. Uh, then the ninth part is monetization. How this game is gonna make money, basically. Well, it depends. A game is a game, so people will buy a game. If it's like a live service, you will probably have more than one page about monetization. Like, how do you think about making the game continuous for the years to come and make a profit about it? Like, okay, we're gonna have like a gacha system, season passes, and so on and so forth. So if you are making that kind of game, you have probably need sorry, you will probably need more than one page. And the last one is more about technology. So what kind of platform are you gonna use? So post, so in my case, Steam. What kind of technology? In my case, Krita, Blender, Godot, and so on. What's the scope of the project? Like how big it is? It's an open world, it's a small game, and this should be it like for the 10-page document. Of course, as I was saying, this one can be, you can go over the top with this one, you can add many details as you want, but you have to just be sure that people will read it. So make it readable, make it understandable, and so on. Oh, this one is an interesting one. It's the bit chart. We have a big example right here, provided by the writer of the book. It's basically level design. Can I just say level design? Because I think it is just that. You have all of these section and subsection where you can basically answer to them, like level word 1-1, grave dagger, I don't know. What the time of the day it is, night. What's the story inside this level? This dude entered in the graveyard, fighting his way through undead creature, blah blah blah. How the player progressed this level, player taught basic moving, basically the tutorial. Estimated playtime, how long they will take to finish this one. The colors, so the palette, what kind of enemies, unique mechanics, I will say also. The hazard, so unholy crown, blah, blah, power-ups. It's basically level design. It's basically the written part of the level design. In my case, I had the visual part of the level design. I still have. I don't know if I will use it for one of the nations. I think I will scratch it and try it again. I mean, it's not perfect. A lot of this kind of work will require people to like redo a lot of stuff. It's normal. It's kind of normal. So, but it puts off a lot of people. That's why some game developers just quit. How to make a real game dev, a real GDD, because these one are fakes. Or no, I'm joking. These are like the GDD for theory. Like in theory, you should like make all of these. Okay, these are like the baseline that you can follow, like the theory. In reality, the game design document can be in any layout, in any format that you want. You just need to make it understand to you and your teammates what you guys are gonna do. That's kind of the plan. So you don't have to follow all of these. You don't have to. It is useful to do it. I will probably do it. Why not? I think it's fun. At this point, I've wrote more than 147 pages, so why not make 11 more, I don't know, or even more, I don't know. So the last part of this chapter, uh, it says that the truth is that nobody will read more than 180 pages of your game design document. And because of that, it will probably be useless. A solution is to find a way, a creative way to for make your vision understand, make your team understand your vision. An example is like the one sheet document that I had on top. Another one is a storyboard. Another is diagrams. Another is animation, beat charts. Another is like a whiteboard where you and your teammates are gonna like play with it with the whiteboard. And also it's having like a team wiki, like maybe I don't know if Obsidian has something like that for collaboration. Maybe yes, I think yes. And everyone can change stuff or add stuff. So yeah, but you have to and the last part probably is the most important is that the game design document is it's fluid, so it will have a lot of iteration. It will not just be okay. We done it. That's it. Let's follow it. As like the world building that I've done until now, there will be probably some changes. I will probably make some changes in the world building, even in future. In future, I will probably come back to world building just to change some stuff. So there is a lot of fluidity in the game in general on in making a game. Up. Yeah, an interactive map is also a good idea. I think some people that plays D&D those already do that. Some people that plays D&D do that already to keep track of the lore or of the story that they are building with playing D&D. So, oh, oh, sorry. Ah, yeah, right. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it. I saw it too. Pretty nice. So, um, choices. A good idea can come from anywhere and anyone. So, if you're leading a team, be sure that you interact with them. Don't just be the one that knows everything and does everything. Interact with your team. Know, see if they have better ideas. That's a good thing. Or see if you can find ideas from other fields. Another thing that I like this one. If you have to decide and don't give up. Don't just how do I say risk to redo everything 1000 times with a team because you know you're wasting their time, you're wasting your time. So if you have a decision and it's a good one, and also if you are a good if you are a game director, don't change like everything. Like don't redo, make okay, I don't like this idea, let's scratch it, blah. Come with idea, see if you like it. If you like it, stick with it until the end. So you can save some time for your team too, and it will change probably. Like it's just that you have to start with something and go with it until the end. So it is inevitable that a lot of stuff will change, but that's not the problem. Changes are welcome. What's not welcome is like redo everything from scratch. Like you're like, I don't like it anymore. Let's do it. Do it from scratch again. Don't. If you have a team, it's not a good idea. That's what this part of the book say means. I think save. This I think is for everything. Like save the project a lot. Like click Control plus S every time you have the thought of it. How do I say? Every time it comes to your mind, save, save, save. Ah, yeah, remain organized. One thing that is pretty useful is to name, have a good names for your documents or color code them. Now that, okay, so you're not gonna see them, I think. No, okay, you don't. But a lot of stuff inside the Obsidian for the documents that I have are organized by category and also by colors because you can add an icon with a color. And it's pretty easy for me now to navigate to each one of them, like pretty fast, like boom, boom, boom. And it's nice, it's nice. So remain organized, don't just draw everything inside a folder. Ah, yeah, of course, talk a lot with your team because, yeah, of course, I mean, if you don't talk to each other, I don't think you're even a team. Uh, yeah, be sure to use like some kind of version control. It's pretty like a Git or GitHub. Git is locally, GitHub is online, but you know, GitHub is used by Microsoft, so I don't know. And it's useful if you can learn Git or GitHub together. And it's also useful because if you break something, you can go back. So keep in mind that you have to do it pretty often because if you don't save or if you don't create a new version and you lost everything and 1 month had passed already, you have to do everything of the month you lost. So yeah, I think it's yeah, if you are, of course, if you are in a team, don't kill each other. Okay, not kill. Uh, if you like have a heated argument, just go away. Don't make it hotter than what is already. Chill out, clean your mind, go take a breath of fresh air. That's kind of the idea. Respect, of course, the skills and the talents of your team and their limitation. I mean, and it's also useful for creative fields because we are talking limitation again. Because remember, limitation are useful. They are not your enemy. They are useful. If your 3D artist cannot do like super detailed render stuff, like I don't know, GTA 6, let's take that example. If he cannot do that, don't try to push that idea that he has to do it. Like, you have to find some compromises and be aware of the ability of your team. I mean, if you are in a triple A industry, you will probably be like the guy that, oh, we don't hire you, bye bye. You don't know to do this, bye bye, we don't need you. But if you are in a small team, you have to work with what you have. So be pretty aware of that, I think, if you're gonna lead a team. And first, well, last one is first to face the most difficult problems of a project. Like if there is something that asks for attention, like a lot, there is a huge breaking bug, or how do I say? Well, something that has a red code of importance, you should probably do that first, not side questing around, because if that breaks and will break, it will probably break everything else. That's the idea. Oh shit, it's not over. Okay, okay. Hi Sasso, welcome back. We are going through all my notes from the book. And we are in the last chapter, yeah. The characters, basically. The character. So, a lot of time, so I think we're gonna basically talking about character design here. A way to make a good character is try to describe it in 3 ways. Like 3 main characteristics if you want to make a good character. And like in my case, the jester, he's creepy. He has tentacle. And he's evil, heavy. And you can see that these three things kind of make him more memorable, and also force the name. So I don't know if it's right to just say three. Okay. In fact, I was like four if you include the name. Oh hell no, what I'm doing? No, yeah, guys, if you have to study, you don't need to just listen to me, you know. And okay, I mean, you do you guys. My advice is please study, don't listen to me. But thank you for being here still. Okay, okay, I'm gonna shut up. Sorry, sorry, I'm gonna shut up. So, continuing. So we had the three characteristics for a character, and four if you include the name. Then there is the silhouette. It's I don't know how much the silhouette thing is true, okay? It is true and it is not. I mean, it's like instead of the silhouette, I will probably talk about frame. I mean, silhouette and frame are kind of the same thing, but how do I say? They probably like to use the Pokemon as an example, like they have pretty distinct silhouettes. I don't know. I really don't know how to tackle this one. Silhouettes are kind of something that I don't really think too much about. I think mostly are the thing that you can see how the character moves and etc. The silhouette thing, I think it's more useful for like splash art or what else? For I don't know, gacha banners. Like silhouettes are more good for static images to emphasize the character personality. That's what I think about silhouette. But in a dynamic environment like 3D where everything is animated, you will hardly see the silhouette, I think, because the character is keep moving. What you're gonna see like in a character is their personality through their body movement. So I don't know. Yeah, like Elden Ring, you don't really care too much about the silhouette, but at the same time, now that I think about like Morgoth, Morgoth has a pretty unique silhouette, so also Mog, so it's kind of confusing to me the silhouette thing. It's kind of confusing. So I think it's better to move on because I'm not an expert into the silhouette and characteristic, but I don't know. Yeah, in fact, the third one is what I see the most. Like I I can I'm more inclined on the third one than the second one. A way to give personality to a character is by his movement, his appearance, his object that he has with it, or she, I don't know, and the weapons. If we are talking about a fighting game, I guess this is kind of the way for me. I don't know, but okay, everything I think it's useful here, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not an expert. I'm gonna just say okay. I don't know if I should also argue about it. Yeah, exactly. I think the idea is not to make the silhouette memorable. It's the contrary. The silhouette is kind of the product of the character being memorable. This is the idea. I don't know if anyone will ever start with, okay, let's make the silhouette and then the character. I think first the character with his personality and everything else, and then the silhouette. But I think the silhouette thing is just a mini game of itself. Like you're gonna think about silhouette just for fun. It's basically just the product. So I think you're right, Sacho. Thank you for adding your perspective. Um, also, this is not mandatory, of course, but if you are making like a role-playing game, customizing your character make the player more attached to it. So if there is the customize part of the game, there is a high chance that the player will get attached to that character that he's creating. It's a yes and no. It depends. If you don't know how to write a good main character, I think character customization is your way. Or I don't know. Wow. I think you think. Yeah, you're right. I think. Yeah, I'm giving too much thought to it. It's just something that really, I don't know, make my head boom, 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 because I don't understand it as maybe I should. That's it. So let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. You're right. So, of course, the main character, can be with someone. It should like not just be here for the entire game. Sometimes having a companion or a secondary character is useful. An example of a secondary character is like for the Lego games, where you can switch between characters. Or a companion is like, I don't know, something controlled by an AI. A game AI will like add, please, a game AI. It's different. And it kind of requires more work because, yeah, they kind of are companions, so sometimes they will work by themselves. And they kind of, yeah, you can use them as mascots or like opposite figure of the main character or complementary, and so on and so forth. And like, or as you can see in some games, you can use the companion as a way to reawaken the parental instinct. I think Pragmata is a good example. I don't know. Now you're not gonna have a rock companion, I'm sorry. Back in my day, they were CPU, you're right. I think I'm gonna say CPU. Oh, well, to be honest, even AI was a thing back there. It was for something else. It had better things. And okay. We are like at the end right now, so let's let's finish. So the NPCs. Um, the NPCs must like answer a question. What the player must have to achieve his goal. What happened here? Well, what happened? Okay. There are like okay. Okay. Well, it was overlapped here. Sorry. So, what needs the character to succeed in his journey? Like a way to that the NPC are useful is like giving the player new objectives, maybe with a reward, giving the player access to new places, new zones, new areas, giving the player ways to travel in those areas, and giving player weapons. Basically, so yeah, or maybe equipment, or maybe like giving. I've drew here like a bard, like giving information about the world of the characters in this world. It all comes down to D&D, yeah. It all comes down to D&D. It is the game. D&D, it is the game. Okay, let's move on. Okay. Another thing that NPC must do is like giving you a hint about how to solve a puzzle, a hint about no, some instruction about gameplay related stuff. Of course, also making the player be, oh, you're so good, you're the greatest hero we ever had, like complimenting the hero. And the last one, I'm gonna zoom to this one, the best one I will say, the humor factor, like having some NPC like being just pure humor, just there for comedy factor is pretty common. For real, yeah. I don't think that the guy that directed Dragon Age that was a DMD player, so I don't know. And let's go to the last page, please, because I'm kind of tired. I've been recording for much time right now, maybe. I don't know. And lastly, there is the mechanic side of the character, and we are not talking like the gameplay here. We like talking about how the character moves and interact with the world. This is the last part we're gonna tackle today. Tell him about the NPC in Skyrim that you encountered yesterday. Okay. When you're ready, you're right. I'm gonna finish here. In a video game world, the player will like, how do I say, will understand the size of the world by playing with the character. That's pretty intuitive. Intuitive. So they will understand how high is a building by seeing the character. They will understand how small is an animal by seeing the character. Another metrics for understanding the sizes of the world you are in with your character are its height, his weight, his weight, yeah, the velocity of his walk, the velocity when he run, the how his his jump length, how high he jump, the distance between body to body, the distance between projectiles. So yeah. Another good example to give is like when the character when you need to make the character understand that he cannot jump that high. Sometimes you have to get like there is a default height that you kind of expect the character to be able to arrive, like two thirds. It is right, two thirds. I don't know. More than that, it will be probably not able to jump. Another action like connected linked to the character that are not really so that are really important and are like the what he does during the idle, what he does during the run, walk, jump, sprint. Also when he go prone, when he I forgot how it is he tries to climb something. It's shadows and the way he swims. So these are other things that kind of give personality to our character, other than his size and his appearance. And that should be like the mechanical part of the characters usually. Ah, the horse one, haha. That's so funny. You went down a sidewalk. Okay, so this was basically all I have written in my notes from chapter 1 to chapter 5. In the next few days, we're gonna try to finish the book. So we're gonna have to finish, sorry, to arrive until chapter, let's see, chapter 21. Even though there are like 2 bonus chapters, but these are like example of one-sheet documents and other stuff. I don't know. We're gonna still read it together because more information is good information. So yeah, this is the plan. Ah, what do you think about it? I want to know your thoughts. What do you think? What do you mean it's just not a loop animation? Literally, it like jumps when I talk, and then look at the computer when I don't talk. That was kind of the idea of this PNG tuber. Yeah, a free course that from me by a book of Scott Rogers. Useful, but not all that much for a single. True, true. Okay, yeah, you're right. You're right because technically I'm alone. But the idea is that I publish Ultra Nihil, then I will for the next games find a team to work with and try to lead it. So it's kind of useful for the future, not now, of course. But I also find that some of that stuff will be useful just for me, like writing the documents, the game documents, will be pretty useful for me to, at least have a to-do list to things to complete to make the prototype of the game or even the finished one. So I'm not gonna say it's useless for now. There are a lot of information that I can take from this book that I can use. So yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can see that a lot of this stuff is like general, like a lot of team building stuff and so on and so forth. There is a lot of general stuff, but why not? Well, I mean, making games, I think it's kind of a field of software engineer. I don't know. I don't know. We will see. We'll see in the next session when I will make new notes. What we can find. Wait, when we can. Oh my God, I'm losing. Okay, sorry. I talk so much that I'm starting to lose every single pronunciation that I have. So yeah, that was the first session. Do you have fun, guys? Did you learn something new? The silence is awkward. Good, good. No, I probably wouldn't accept any other answer than the one that you gave. So, oh no, I didn't know you were competition. No, goddamn. Yeah, I mean, you're kind of right, Frank, about not being so much new. Like some of the stuff are pretty intuitive, but I think it's still nice to have them like in mind. I mean, the something new that I didn't know was the game document stuff. Like that was like something useful that I didn't know. So you can learn something new every day, I think. Maybe let's see something else that I didn't know before. I didn't know about the productivity triangle. Then let's see the game documents. I didn't know about them, and it was pretty useful. I will probably apply some stuff. The difference between narrative and story, I didn't know about that. So another useful thing to keep in mind. That, so what else? What else? What else? Well, yeah, and also it is useful to have all the fields that are inside a studio or behind every game. So the programmer, artist, designer, production manager, creative manager, so on and so forth. So yeah, there is some new stuff to be learned here. So why not? Oh, real? I didn't know they teach about how to make a document. Well, just to keep in mind, I'm kind of behind, so I will learn at my pace. That's it. For that, my man, I have another whole book, like the game dev business book, handbook. I have a big other book for that, but it will be like the last thing that I will read. Like, first I want the game out, then I will read that book. So there will be no. It will be pretty funny to kind of have a marketing session. Like, okay, guys, today we're gonna know about the stock prices. It will be pretty fun. But for today, I think we can finish here. Tomorrow, we're gonna have to unpack a lot of stuff, writing down. So it will like take a lot of time, more than just reviewing what I've already wrote. So yeah, thank you for being here, and we will see each other tomorrow. Bye bye, guys. Bye bye. Bye bye. Love you. Bye bye. Oh yeah, I should totally learn about that, but it will be like a version control, and it will be like in the next days or when I will start getting into the code. Bye bye.